So some of the people in the speculation / leak community for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate have been going around and deconfirming certain characters. Today, Vergibin just said that there will be no Namco Bandai character for the 5th fighter. So the 5th fighter has now been deconfirmed according to leakers and speculators as no Crash, no Ryu Hayabusa, no Gordon Freeman, not Dante from Devil May Cry, also not Gino and Doom Guy from that other Smash leak. I guess if that leak is true, with the whole video with the Mii costumes, then it must not be involving this 5th fighter, is what they're trying to say. And yeah, basically at the end of the day, it's getting cut down more and more and more, where we're getting to the point where we're kind of like running low on characters left, especially if you are also in the camp that third-party companies that already have a character in Smash as in DLC, not in the main game, but as in DLC, probably won't be the 5th fighter, as in probably not going to get anything from Sega or Square Enix, definitely not going to get anything from Rare, and we're probably not going to get anything from SNK. I mean, if we got another SNK character right after Terry, that'd be insane. But especially considering all the SNK songs in Terry's stage, I mean, that's just a crazy idea, right? I don't think anyone thinks that's going to happen. So basically, a lot of possible characters have been deconfirmed, and I don't really know what's left out there that also has the brand recognition that would also get fans pumped, because theoretically, this would be something that would be revealed during the Game Awards. Now, in my last video, I made a nice little tier list where I tried to make a possible Wave 2 list, and then I took characters from my possible Wave 2 and moved them up to my most likely. Now, my most likely, which these are basically characters that still have a chance, but who probably more likely for Wave 2, because only one of them can be for this, first wave still. And what I had on top was Doom Guy, then Master Chief, then Travis Touchdown, then 2B, then Crash Bandicoot, and then Sora. Though Crash Bandicoot was one of the characters that people have been saying are deconfirmed, I just kind of have these characters selected here as a way of saying, like, okay, but they're not like, I'm going to pretend I don't know what leakers and speculators are saying, because maybe these leakers and speculators are wrong, so I'm just going to throw that out there, even though I do agree that we should be trying to listen to them a little bit. And really, when I look at my list, you can also kind of eliminate 2B and Sora, and Doom Guy again was one of the people saying will probably not happen. And Master Chief, let's face it, Master Chief, well, as cool as that may be, first of all, Banjo, he's kind of more of a Rare rep than a Microsoft rep, but at the same time, to have two Microsoft crossover characters, even if Banjo's more of a Rare character, the fact that he's in the game at all when he belongs only to Microsoft now, it kind of already says everything you need to know right there. Probably not going to get Master Chief. Maybe in Wave 2 or Wave 3? I mean, Master Chief in Smash would be a dream come fucking true. But basically, when I look at all my characters left, it's narrowed down to one character who would have the hype, potential, and star power to get the crowd cheering and erupting, with all the fans at home cheering as well. Travis Touchdown. Now, this is a character, my friends. This is not just any video game character. This is the fucking video game character, because this is the character who's a fucking gamer himself. Well, a lot of video games have tried to popularize like a character like this. Popularize a character who is like an everyday average Joe, anime otaku fan, who collects figures, who likes nerdy stuff. And I mean, the reason why he fights with a beam katana is because it's practically just a lightsaber, and he just kind of wanted it. And I mean, I think that I can't remember if the origin is that he bought it off eBay. I played No More Heroes a few years ago when I got my Wii U. Even though me and my friends we beat the first two together on his Wii back when they first came out, because we just loved these games right off the bat. This was actually my first Suda 51 game, but after playing No More Heroes, I was a total believer. I went back, I checked out all the stuff on all of his other games, and I definitely understand why people like him so much, and I'm a huge fan myself. And I'm eagerly awaiting No More Heroes 3, because fuck, I love Travis Touchdown and I love No More Heroes. And when I bought my Wii U one day, during Christmas, my little brother told my mom to get me No More Heroes for my Wii U because she had no idea what to get me, and like used Wii games were still super cheap, and I just had this new console, so this was kind of like a really nice gesture from both my mom and little brother, and she bought me both No More Heroes 1 and 2, and they were like $5 each or something. And man, oh man, that was such a blast. Like, those games are just so fucking charming, and god damn it, I'm so sad that they're not on the Switch because so many people are not gonna bust out a Wii right now and play it. I would, because I'm a fucking nerd, but not many other people are going to buy, you know, No More Heroes 1 and 2 on Amazon or randomly find them somewhere at a GameStop somewhere in this day and age, where yes, you could play it on your Wii or Wii U, but for fuck's sake, no one has those things hooked up anymore, especially now that Smash is out. But here we are. We have No More Heroes. We have Travis Strikes Again on the Switch, which is not the same game, but it's still full of all the same Suda51 charm that we've come to know and love. So in a weird, quirky way, it's still kind of like a game that represents Travis Touchdown perfectly, to the point where if you like those kind of top-down games, you might really enjoy Travis Strikes Again and still somehow, some way, end up understanding why people like Suda51 games, even though it's so radically different from the other two No More Heroes games. Of course, No More Heroes 3 looks like a return to form, and I say return to form not saying Travis Strikes Again is bad. I mean, that's the funny thing. He can make a spin-off game and it'd still be really good. The fact that Suda51 is interested in doing more No More Heroes just makes me so happy, because that is by far my favorite franchise of his. And so let's start talking about this fucking character and why he's so cool, because even if you've never played No More Heroes, most people know who most people know who Travis Touchdown is and know that he's pretty cool, because when you look at footage from his games, they look nuts. When he cuts people in half or cuts their heads off, blood spurts out all over the place, like an old samurai movie or Kill Bill, for instance. Just blood spurting everywhere. It's crazy. He does like weird wrestling moves where you have to put the Wii and nunchuck in weird configurations with your hands to like throw people over your shoulders and like power drive them into the ground and shit like that. Really cool boss fights with like really cool characters, because Travis is an assassin after all, and he's trying to become the #1 assassin, so he has to kill other assassins. He's kind of like, you know, like I said, this is like a game to him, because he's a fucking gamer guy. And like I also mentioned, a lot of games try to do this with his gamer persona, but he's the only one that really it works for, who really it shines with, and that's thanks to Suda51's really elegant writing style, really helping him like shine and grow into a more beloved character. One of my favorite things is when he fights one of the assassins is a schoolgirl with a katana, and Travis doesn't want to kill her. He wants her to become stronger. And later in the sequel, No More Heroes 2, she comes back as a teenager, or maybe was like a young adult, and Travis needs her help. And so you actually take control and play as her, and her moveset's actually very different. In fact, she can even jump, which Travis can't do. And yeah, so basically what I'm saying is the game really has a cool way of making you learn a lot about the characters and care about them and care about the story. And Travis is just a really good protagonist to do this with. So what some people might say is, what the hell would his moves even be? And would he just be another anime swordsman? Sadly, he kind of is just like another anime swordsman character, but again, I think that Travis has enough variety in his gameplay to make this moveset really work. And even I was saying, I really want this character in Smash, but can anyone refresh my memories of what kind of moves he has? And no one really could, so I've been looking up old footage to try to see what exactly his moveset would be like. And what I remembered was he had more than just a few wrestling moves. Yes, a lot of Travis's A attacks could all be his sword swings, and his throws could all be different wrestling moves, and you could possibly give him a command grab wrestling move, but he has more than enough move variety to have 4 completely unique specials that have nothing to do with his grapples or his sword swings. So fun thing about Travis is he actually has multiple different beam katanas, and in some of the, I think in No More Heroes 2 specifically, his beam katanas sometimes have different properties. Like at one point he can have 2 dual wield beam katanas, which is really cool, and at one point also he can have this really long range one. So I mean, there's like weird things you can do with the beam katanas that could work with smash attacks or tilt attacks, but it'd be cool if all that stuff still stayed with the A attacks and the special attacks, because when it comes to special attacks, Travis has a lot of weird shit that could possibly work here. Some people might not realize that Travis can actually shoot projectiles out of his hand, but also in part of his game there's like a lucky wheel thing that like gives you random like move upgrades and things, and like changes the way you fight for a short period of time. And sometimes you can even fucking be turned into like a tiger. Now, I don't know if Sakurai would want to, and yes, when I say tiger, I mean you literally turn to like an animal on all four legs, and you run around and like slash at people with your claws. Is it fucking amazing and badass? Yes. Does it make sense? Not really. But that's kind of the beauty of No More Heroes. It's kind of like a video game first, and a game that makes logical sense later. And there's definitely lots to pull from for special moves when you do consider his, projectile attacks. He also has a lot of crazy attacks from the Travis Strikes Again game that could easily work here too. Theoretically, we could also get a new trailer for No More Heroes 3 that maybe could show off new moves, or we might just get a new move in Smash that's from No More Heroes 3 that we just don't know about yet. You might be saying, what? That doesn't make any sense, but Luigi literally had the backpack from Luigi's Mansion 3 the entire time Smash was out. Luigi's Mansion 3 came out on Halloween night, guys. That was like literally a month ago, okay? Literally a month ago. And Smash came out in December of last year. This whole time, Luigi's been using a new version of his ghost-sucking backpack from fucking a game that wasn't even fucking out yet, okay? I mean, I'm going to assume that Sakurai would have more notes and information maybe given from Suda himself on what moves he would want. Then Sakurai could possibly take everything he knows from the current 3 No More Heroes games and then combine them with notes and information from the new game. In fact, something else to keep in mind is that when Joker came out, we were all kind of confused when Joker had this grappling hook. And I was trying to remember, maybe there was a point in Persona 5 where Joker just kind of throws out a grappling hook to get over one small ledge. I couldn't recall this moment, and later when Persona 5 the Royale came, or when they showed the trailer, the game's not out yet, it showed Joker using the grappling hook. So it just goes to show that like sometimes Sakurai can use moves that we don't know about yet. And for the No More Heroes 3 trailer we got during E3, Travis has like a jetpack, or he has like a robot suit. He has like a cybernetic robot suit that he was like flying in at one point. So I don't know. I think No More Heroes 3 is probably gonna go really off the rails with like all the crazy like gamer moments and like epic bro moments, which makes the game just really charming in my opinion, because I don't think it's exactly trying to. It's not like the game is trying to like piggyback off of stuff like that as much as it's trying to be like this is like his archetype and style. And it's just like this is just him as a character. It's not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing if you can relate to it or not. I just like really love the gaminess and like the arcade style of the game, period. And I love the hack and slash combat. And also again, I like the story and the characters. But either way, there's definitely lots of moves that we could pull from. So if I can't come up with the best up special or the best side special, I mean, I saw a video where someone was talking about multiple attacks, and he said there would be a really good projectile-based attack that comes from Travis Strikes Again on the Switch. And that's probably a good place to start. Like, he has weird video game like chip attacks in that game that could probably work really well for his side B, down B, up B, whatever. So there are definitely lots of moves to pull from if we don't want to just use like moves only from No More Heroes 1 and 2, which I would say could also fill out the special move list with some creative liberties. Because again, I think the fact that he can shoot fireballs and turn into a tiger and do all these other weird wacky shit could also work there too. Now, so far every character has had some fucking weird gimmick. Joker, of course, had a JoJo meter where it lets him have Arsene come out. Hero has a mana bar and a bajillion special moves for some fucking reason. Banjo has Wonder Wing, which he only gets like 6 of, and then if he dies, they come back. And then Terry has an unlimited super meter. Whenever he has 100% damage, he can just do as many super attacks as he wants. So what would our 5th character be? I mean, the character, no matter what, they have to have some kind of bullshit. Every DLC character always has some kind of DLC bullshit. Now, does that make the game bad or make those characters bad? No, because some of the main cast of characters have that bullshit too, especially the DLC from the previous game. But when it comes to, this game, every character has to have some kind of shit. Maybe Wave 2 will be different on this front, but what would be crazy and wacky for this character? Well, he kind of has this weird gimmick in No More Heroes where, like I said, he has that roulette wheel, or it's like a slot machine where it's like 3 pictures have to line up. Maybe he could have something involving that, and maybe that could be how he turns to his tiger form or something like that. And while that would be crazy to see in Smash, it would maybe make him not exactly balanced, and it might turn people off from playing as him. Because it could be like switching in Pokemon Trainer, and it might be switching to something you don't really want. I don't know, but maybe they won't do the roulette wheel thing or the slot machine thing, because that's just kind of crazy for Smash. I think the better option for the slot machine idea would be to just take some of those moves from the slot machine and turn that into his like special attacks. Maybe then go for his 2nd gimmick, which everyone knows this gimmick is probably the most popular gimmick. It's probably the most notable and noteworthy thing about No More Heroes that pretty much everyone knows about. So you all know what I'm about to say. But for those of you who don't know a single thing about No More Heroes, that means you probably don't know about this one little gimmick the game has, where if the battery is low for your lightsaber / beam katana, you have to shake the batteries around in order to power it back up. So when this happens, the battery is sort of a phallic image. It looks small and droopy, and when you shake it up, it gets nice and big again. What I always love about this is that in the sequel, when you play as the girl samurai schoolgirl character who is coming to aid Travis, whenever her battery, she's using a normal bladed katana, but whenever the battery is low for her, she leans down and takes a rag and starts stroking the sword with like a rag, like she's polishing the blade. And so it's really funny that in both instances it looks like someone is stroking a phallic image, which is really funny. I mean, obviously it's more funny if you're immature, but because of the nature of the game and what you're doing in the game, it kind of puts you in the right mindset to enjoy something like that, and it usually gets a chuckle out of me, and usually a chuckle out of anyone who hears it for the first time. And I don't think we can put images like that in No More Heroes. I don't think we can do stuff where Travis is like really jerking a thing off, but maybe that could be one of his taunts, but it has to be very censored compared to the idea of putting this in Smash, now I'm thinking about it, is really silly. But you could do some kind of mechanic with the battery where maybe as you're fighting, because okay, so I'm gonna pitch something that's completely not like Smash, or not like No More Heroes at all, but very much so like Smash. This is kind of more so based off of how Joker works, because Joker's Arsane ability, that is, if you guys think that's how Persona works, that's not how Persona works at all. In Persona, you have an MP bar, just like in, just like how Hero would have, and as you, it's called SP instead. But as you use your magic attacks, your SP bar goes down, and all of your attacks, you have the ability to have Arsane be a part of them. Like, you also get multiple personas that aren't Arsane. So, in fact, usually in Persona games, you just kind of delete your original persona. I mean, you try to keep him as long as you can, but eventually he's not really any good anymore. So, when I think Joker, I don't really associate him with Arsane usually, But, I mean, yeah, it is his, like, persona. It is, like, his, the whole point of Persona is, like, they kind of represent what they're all about. So it is, like, this trickster character. So it does work really well. But, I mean, the idea of him fighting behind Joker, that's not, like, how it would be, like, in Persona 5 at all. But so maybe instead of charging your batteries up when it's low, maybe his battery starts out low, and as you do damage over time, it gets higher, and maybe you do more damage with consistent hits, or maybe when it's fully charged, you just have more damage for a little bit, or something like that. I'm just throwing out ideas for how they could possibly do a gimmick with this character. But here's the thing: he has this slot machine gimmick, and he has a battery charging gimmick. You could easily, if you don't want to do this gimmick where he's really strong and it goes down over time, you could easily make ways to make this gimmick work. You could have him also charge it just like in No More Heroes. It could be easy. The same way how Inkling recharges her ink. Her ink always looked kind of like a battery meter to me anyway. You could have him do something like that. Of course, to me, I don't think it would be really fun to play as a character who had a sword, whose sword just became useless with no battery. So I don't know how well that would work in Smash. So I think the better mechanic idea would be, again, if his battery was like, as it gets more powered up from fighting, then it does bigger attacks. Or maybe you can charge it manually to make your next attack really big. Like say maybe his down B is just charging his sword battery, and it just makes his next attack really strong. Sort of like how Incineroar has his like counter attack move that also psychs him up. Maybe it could be something like that. I don't know. Of course, if you do something like that, you need it to be somewhat balanced. So you need it to be something where like you can't just do it after for every single attack, because Smash is a game about like camping. So maybe he could have some other kind of style gimmick. There's lots of ideas for a character. Especially a character like Travis, who just has two really wacky hack and slash games and this crazy arcadey top-down beat 'em up style game with Travis Strikes Again, which has even more weird, crazy power-ups. And then, of course, again, then there's No More Heroes 3, which if Suda51 wanted Travis in the game, then he would just give Sakurai notes and just show him exactly what to do, who to have, and blah blah blah. So as far as costumes go, I kind of talked about this in my other video where I kind of pointed out like which characters left make the most sense for who would be in the game. And I wanted to be a little clear here. I'm a little biased towards Travis. I even said in one of my first videos ever, I said the characters that make the most sense would be Banjo, Ryu Hayabusa, and Travis Touchdown. I don't think we'll get both Ryu and Travis, but I was like definitely banking on Banjo and saying probably one of these two next. Well, I think Ryu Hayabusa has been deconfirmed by leakers, but I do think Ryu Hayabusa has an incredibly strong chance, actually. Just probably not for the 5th character, because I don't think this character actually... I honestly think people would go more crazy over Travis than they would for Ryu Hayabusa. I'm just saying. Oh man, imagine having No More Heroes music in Smash. I will hopefully be playing No More Heroes music while I'm talking. And yeah, I just really think that we'll have this is just going to be a really good opportunity for these for this character. But normally, and when I do a video of if this character's in Smash, I talk about what possible costumes they'd have and what stage they'd have as well. Stage-wise, for so far, really, while some of the stages have been I've been kind of most of the characters I predict, basically I'll say this. I predicted Joker, and I said his stage would probably not be Mementos, and then it was Mementos, which was kind of sad. But I think a lot of people thought Mementos would be a stupid idea for his stage, but then they hit us with the Persona 4 and 3 content, which makes perfect sense to do something like that with Mementos stage, because if he did it based off a stage, based off a dungeon in the game, it probably would have been really bad, because then you wouldn't be able to work in Persona 4 and 3 stuff. So I kind of understood why they did Mementos, and also they featured all the background characters from Persona 5 as well, which is something they later did again with the King of Fighters stage, where they had all of these characters from King of Fighters, which was, again, really freaking cool. Sakurai, thank you. As a King of Fighters fan, thank you for including so many characters in the stage. I would have never thought, with Terry also comes Yuri, my main favorite character. When I play a King of Fighters game, my teams usually include Terry and Yuri. So when Yuri was also there, I was like, fuck yeah. And they even included King, which is like from Art of Fighting. It's like, yes, I love King as well. Thank you. Like, thank you for including cool characters, Sakurai. Thank you. So would it be really cool if bosses from No More Heroes showed up in the background of the stage? Hell yeah. But for me, when I think of No More Heroes, I think of the hub world, which is kind of like a go-to for Smash stages. The hub world, No More Heroes 1, which is like this big city, it would definitely be really cool. Then when it comes to like other really iconic stages, for me, the most iconic is probably like the school classroom where you fight the young schoolgirl who later becomes like his apprentice. Well, at least she always calls him master, because she kind of looks up to him like maybe more of like a sensei than a senpai, but she really does look up to him and want to learn from him after he spared her life. So yeah, that would all be cool. Which again, yeah, No More Heroes would have so many good potential for spirit characters. So that's kind of where I'd be thinking for a stage. Would probably be like the schoolyard or like the classroom or whatever, like something like that. And then after that, I probably would have to say for the costumes, again, I kind of already touched up on this, but basically, obviously his secondary color would probably be his purple jacket he wears in Travis Strikes Again. No More Heroes 1 and 2, he wears this red jacket, and Travis Strikes Again, they kind of gave him like a revamp look where they gave him a purple jacket, and he's normally wearing like an Unreal Engine shirt. But I thought would be a better idea is instead of wearing a shirt for Unreal Engine, which is like Smash does not use that, maybe he could wear like a Smash Bros logo shirt. And so some of his shirts could be taken from his game, which some of his game has like some cool art designs. And then the cool thing about Travis Strikes Again is it has a bunch of art and shirts from indie games. So what would be really cool is if some of the character, like, because there's a shirt for or because Shovel Knight's in the game as an assist trophy, maybe he could have a Shovel Knight shirt. You know what I'm saying? With like a blue jacket. Now that could be kind of crazy, but I just think it'd be really cool if like he had like Smash logos on his shirt, and every shirt had a different logo design. That would just be cool. Now, obviously, some of the shirts could be taken from No More Heroes 1 or 2, but some of the shirts being Smash related or related to certain other characters in the game, because Travis is such a fan of video games, and maybe he's a fan of Smash Bros as well, could be really freaking cool. That could be a really cute nod to the fact that he's in Smash, and a cute nod to the fact that he's a fan of video games himself. It seems like that's something Sakurai would pick up on. It seems like something Sakurai would want to bring up and mention is a part of his personality and character, that he just loves video games. Because Sakurai, it seems like watching these videos for Hero, Banjo, and now Terry, where he just sits down and plays the character, it seems like he just kind of gushes about these characters and tells us a bunch of little tidbits and facts about the characters that we might not have known about if we weren't hardcore fans like he is. And he's really just going balls deep on it. And with No More Heroes being an actual Wii game, it's almost impossible to think that Sakurai would have just completely skipped it, especially from a creator like Suda51 who's so unique and different. I feel like if No More Heroes was a Wii exclusive back when the Wii was mostly just kind of like Wii Sports style games and shovelware games and games that aren't really that special, back when the Wii was really struggling, I feel like Sakurai would have definitely taken that opportunity to play through No More Heroes. And if he played No More Heroes, he'd give it a chance at all, I promise you guys, he probably would have liked it, and then he probably would have picked up the sequel. And then Travis Strikes Again coming out on Switch would probably inspire him even more. And getting heads up information on the third game in the series would just make it all the more likely. Now, some people might say that's kind of weird because Travis isn't really a third party and the rest of the characters are third parties. But I don't think that really matters that much. Suda51, first of all, is a third party. They have released games on PC as well as other consoles all the time. In fact, No More Heroes is not exclusive to Nintendo. It actually did appear on the PS3 as well. In fact, I actually downloaded the demo for the PS3 version of the game and thought that playing it on a PS3 controller was just as good as playing it on a Wii controller. In fact, for No More Heroes 2, when me and my friend were playing it together, he said, hey, we can just play the whole game with the Pro controller. And we plugged in I think he had the normal classic controller with like the It looked kind of really funky. The Pro Classic controller for the Wii is a lot better, but he just kind of plugged one of those in, and we played the game that way. And that's how you could play on the PS3 version. It played exactly the same way as that, and we kind of both agreed we liked it more. So, I mean, what I'm saying here is that Travis has appeared on other game consoles. He's not exclusive to Nintendo, and definitely Suda51 is definitely not only exclusive to Nintendo. But it would be really cool if we could get some inclusion for a character that is so close to Nintendo, whether that matters or not, because including him would still be a new IP for Smash, which is the most important thing to take away from all this, that these characters in this Fighter Season Pass is that they're all brand new IPs of Smash. There's nothing from I almost said Travis Touchdown, but really, yeah, there's nothing from No More Heroes in Smash at all. There's no spirits, there's no assist trophies, there's nothing from No More Heroes. And it just seems like this is the perfect opportunity to include some love for No More Heroes. And this could be something that Sakurai would really love to see. Now, again, I don't know if this would be as hype as seeing Joker in Smash, but to me personally, this would be a dream come true. I don't know, I'd probably cry if Travis Touchdown was the 5th character. Now, right now, I think he's my most likely go-to pick, just because his fight style would be so crazy but still fit and work in Smash so incredibly well, probably better in Smash than any other game. Like, imagine if they put him in Soul Calibur instead of 2B. It probably wouldn't work at all, but in Smash, it would totally work. His fight style would just, everything about Travis just kind of makes sense, right? But when you see so many other characters being deconfirmed right now, well, maybe I shouldn't talk about Travis too much before people just go ahead and start talking about him and the fact that he might be deconfirmed next. But let's just hope he's coming, because even if it was true, even if none of those characters were deconfirmed, and we were looking at Doom Guy, we were looking at Crash Bandicoot, Ryu Hayabusa, Dante, Lloyd, Gino. With the exception of Gino, because obviously I'm going to want Gino in the game, I would probably choose Travis over Doom Guy. I would probably choose Travis over Crash Bandicoot, Dante, and Lloyd, and Ryu Hayabusa. He's kind of the guy I really want to join Smash the most right now, aside from characters like Gino and Master Chief, who would just, be really crazy. Or, of course, Sora. Sora would also be, really cool too, but let's not get into Sora right now. It seems like every time I bring him up, people just get mad at me and say my arguments don't make sense and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, Travis would be a really fucking cool inclusion. And, I mean, I can't think of a single character who I'd want more who's also not from Namco, who's also not from, all those other deconfirmed games. So, let's see what we get here. And, for anyone who just doesn't know or doesn't think that he has a possible moveset or a gimmick that would work, it would totally work. And for fuck's sake, man, that soundtrack, please. It's like when Joker was announced, I was like, I don't even care if I hate playing the character. If I can play on his stage and hear all that music, I'll be fucking happy. I still can't believe those songs are in Smash. I still can't believe that he's even in the game. Like, I still pinch myself constantly like, oh my gosh, one of my favorite fucking JRPG protagonists is fucking in Smash. That's fucking amazing. So, I mean, and for everyone else, there's Undertale. So, but yeah, I mean, I want Travis in this game. That would be so cool. And honestly, in my opinion, if I had to pick like any guy who's like a badass, cool dude, motherfucker, I would say I would rather have Travis than Dante. Don't get me wrong, I like Dante, I like Devil May Cry, but I just kind of like Travis more. I think it's because when I play DMC, I don't even really like. First of all, I don't even really like. I like Dante a lot. I think his playstyle is the best. But I don't know. When it comes to his character, I want to like Nero more, but when I play as Nero, he's just not as fun as Dante. But it is always good that they start the game with forcing you to play as Nero before you get to play as Dante. But that's how 5 worked as well. But I mean, I kind of like
I kind of just like Travis more than both of them, really. I just like Travis Touchdown a lot, man. His games are incredibly charming. And again, I don't want to like start a thing. I don't want people who like Devil May Cry to get mad at me. Just ignore everything I just said. But I'm not taking it out at the same time. But I like Travis Touchdown a lot, man. And I want to see him in Smash. That'd be so fucking cool. Especially a character who kind of grew up and got his start on the Wii and gave a shit about the Wii and Nintendo when no one else fucking did. Like, he was pretty much the only game that I, like, when it came to the Wii, I didn't get a Wii, and I was like, I only would get a Wii to play Smash Bros. Brawl and No More Heroes. This is what I would tell people. And I just played No More Heroes at my friend's house, and then eventually got it for myself. So, I mean, let's see it happen. So, we're in December now, and we're only like, we're not that far away from the Game Awards, so here's to Travis Touchdown being in Smash. And I'll see you guys on the next one.